Let's be real. Grocery prices aren't exactly doing us any favors lately. Whether you're feeding a family of 4 or just trying to stock up on your favorite snacks, the grocery run is likely one of the biggest lines in your monthly budget. But what if you could turn those eggs and avocados into a serious paycheck? Today, we're putting the two heavyweights of the grocery world in the ring. The American Express, Blue Cash Preferred, and the Citi Custom Cash. One has a flashy 6% rate, but a hidden cost. The other is a flexible $0 annual fee ninja. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which one deserves a spot in your wallet to help you beat inflation at the checkout line. Before we dive into the math, do me a quick favor. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell. To understand this battle, we have to look at the stats for both cards. On one side, we have the Amex Blue Cash Preferred. It's famous for its 6% cash back at US supermarkets, but it comes with a $95 annual fee, though often waived in the first year. On the other side, the Citi Custom Cash is a set-it-and-forget-it card with no annual fee. It gives you 5% cash back on your top spending category each billing cycle. If groceries are your biggest expense, it automatically becomes a 5% grocery card. Wait, do you see that? $500 a month times 12 months is exactly $6,000. On the surface, the limits look identical, but the way they work is very different. This is where most people get tripped up. 6% sounds better than 5%, right? Not always. Because the Amex has a $95 annual fee, your effective cashback is actually lower. If you spend exactly $6,000 a year on groceries, you earn $360 back with Amex. But after you subtract that $95 fee, you're left with $265. With the Citi Custom Cash, 5% of $6,000 is $300. In a straight grocery-only fight where you spend $500 a month, the Citi Custom Cash actually wins by $35. To make the Amex win, we need to look at what else it brings to the table. The Blue Cash Preferred isn't just a grocery card. It's a suburban lifestyle card. It also earns a massive 6% back on select US streaming subscriptions. If you're paying for Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, and Spotify, that 6% adds up fast. It also gives you 3% back at US gas stations and on transit. Think Uber, Lyft, tolls, and trains. If you're a commuter who loves their shows, the Amex starts to look much more attractive. The Citi Custom Cash, meanwhile, only gives you that 5% in one category. If you use it for groceries, your gas and streaming only earn a measly 1%. If you're a fan of Mickey Mouse or Star Wars, listen up. The Amex Blue Cash Preferred currently offers an $84 Disney Bundle credit, distributed as $7 per month. If you already pay for the Disney Bundle Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus, this credit almost entirely wipes out the $95 annual fee. Suddenly, your net cost for the card is only $11. In this scenario, that 6% on groceries is nearly pure profit, making it easily beat the Citi 5% card. One of the coolest things about the Citi Custom Cash is its chameleon ability. Most cards force you to choose a category, but Citi just looks at where you spent the most and gives you 5% automatically. Let's say one month you aren't doing much grocery shopping because you're on a road trip. If you spend $500 on gas that month, the card automatically switches your 5% to gas stations. If next month you're doing a DIY project and spend $500 at Home Depot, it switches to home improvement. This flexibility is a huge win for people whose spending habits change month to month. Here is the Achilles heel of the Citi Custom Cash, the monthly cap. It is a strict $500 per billing cycle. If you spend $501, that extra dollar only earns 1%. If you have a big family and spend $800 a month on groceries, the Custom Cash is actually a pretty poor choice for the full amount. The Amex Blue Cash Preferred, however, has a yearly cap. You could spend $1,000 in December for holiday hosting and $200 in January, and you'll still get 6% on all of it as long as you stay under the $6,000 annual limit. For families with lumpy spending, Amex is much more forgiving. Don't forget the handshake deal. Both cards usually offer a welcome bonus for new cardholders. The Citi Custom Cash typically offers around $200 after spending $1,500 in the first 6 months. The Amex Blue Cash Preferred often offers $250 to $300 after spending $3,000 in the first 6 months. Amex gives you more upfront, but requires more spending to get it. Also, keep in mind that Amex often waives the annual fee for the first year, making it a no-brainer to try out for 12 months before deciding to keep it. If you hate complexity, the Amex is actually the winner here. You just use it for groceries, gas, and streaming done. You don't have to worry about accidentally spending more in another category and losing your 5% grocery rate. With the Citi Custom Cash to maximize it, you really should only use it for one thing. If you spend $400 on groceries and then $500 on a new TV at a department store, your 5% will go to the TV, and you'll only get 1% on your groceries. To master the Citi card, you usually have to treat it as a dedicated grocery card and nothing else. Choose the Amex Blue Cash Preferred if you spend close to but not over $500 a month on groceries. You pay for streaming services like Netflix or the Disney bundle. You have a commute and want 3% back on gas and transit. You prefer a set-it-and-forget-it multi-category card. Choose the Citi Custom Cash if you're a minimalist who hates annual fees. Your grocery spending is consistently under $500 a month. You already have other cards for gas and streaming. You want a flexible card that can cover different categories if your needs change. Before you rush out to buy a cart full of Wagyu beef, we have to talk about the fine print. Not every place that sells food is considered a supermarket in the eyes of Amex and Citi. This is where a lot of people lose out on hundreds of dollars in rewards. Both the Amex Blue Cash Preferred and the Citi Custom Cash specifically exclude superstores and warehouse clubs. That means if you do your primary grocery shopping at Walmart, Target, or Costco, you are likely only going to earn 1% cash back. Amex is particularly strict about this. If you're a ride-or-die Costco member, neither of these cards is actually the right primary card for your food haul. However, if you split your shopping between a specialty grocer and a big box store, you can still use these cards strategically for the traditional grocery half of your budget. Here is a pro-level tip that most people overlook: the downgrade path. Let's say you sign up for the Amex Blue Cash Preferred because the first year annual fee is waived. But then, year 2 hits, and that $95 fee feels a bit heavy. With Amex, you have the option to downgrade your card to the Amex Blue Cash every day. This is a $0 annual fee card that still gives you 3% back on groceries up to $6,000 a year and 3% on online retail purchases. At the end of the day, both of these cards are elite. The Amex Blue Cash Preferred is a powerhouse for families and heavy streamers, especially if you can use that $84 Disney credit to effectively cancel out the annual fee. It's a premium experience with high-end customer service. The Citi Custom Cash is a surgical tool perfect for the minimalist who wants to maximize a single category without paying a dime in fees or worrying about an annual limit that they might hit in October. So, which one fits your shopping list? Are you a one card for everything person? Or are you ready to juggle categories to get that extra 1%? Let me know in the comments which card you're leaning toward.